Hey Scribes, it's your girl Scribe Cash here, and I want to introduce you guys to a new segment. It's called Scribe Talk, and pretty much what that is where we talk about anything from music to politics, you name it, be right here on Scribe Talk. Today's topic of the day is Jay-Z's 444 album. It just dropped, exclusively streaming on Tidal, and to be honest, I was kind of shocked about it. I wasn't shocked because it was dope, because as we know, he's a dope rapper, one of the greatest of all time. But I was just kind of shocked about how honest and open he was. We're talking about somebody who's literally spent his entire career on making sure we know just enough about him. Not nothing about him, but just enough about him. We're talking about somebody who grew up in the Marcy Projects. Somebody who was a drug dealer. You know what that means? That means your entire career as a drug dealer is to make sure that nobody knows what it is that you're doing. So not only was he a drug dealer, but a successful one at that. He got out the game, then went into the music industry. So when it comes to privacy and his own intimate personal life, that's super important for him to keep to himself. Obviously, we can see that through his relationship with Beyonce. We didn't even know they was dating until years later. We didn't know they was dating until they got married, really, to be honest. So for him just to be so open and honest throughout the entire album, 10 tracks is just fire. I was like, okay, Jay-Z. Okay, we're finally stepping it up. We're giving us something new, and I think that's what he had to do on this album, is he had to give us a new side of him. Because we already know Jay-Z the rapper, we know Jay-Z the businessman, but what we want to know is Jay-Z the father, or Jay-Z the man behind the music. So some of my favorite parts about the album was this. One, I thought it was dope. He kicked off track number 1. He talks about the Solange fight in the elevator, and he talks about his beef with Kanye. He's just he kicks it off okay, look, we not doing this the same way. This is about to be something new. You feel me? Then later on in the album, he goes on and does something that I thought that must have been really hard for him. I mean, he literally says sorry to Beyonce for cheating. Let's just call that what it was. That's pretty much what the song was about. I think for him, it must have been hard. It seemed, not to say I know him, but it seems like he could be kind of prideful. So for him to really just apologize like that, I thought that was very humbling and relatable, and it made him human, because that's the side we ain't really seen, that side of Jay. But here's what else that I thought that was super duper dope. It's something that Jay-Z's done from the very beginning. It's talking about society. I thought the OJ song that he had on there was super duper dope, where he just talks about classism and racism and stuff that we're really going through right now in today's time. So make sure you peep that song. That song was fire, you feel me? So if I had to wrap up the album in a nutshell, I would say that this album, the 444 album, excuse me, was honest. It was brilliant. Production on it I thought was great. He chose some amazing samples. I mean, he sampled the Clark sisters. Pretty dope. Sampled Lauryn Hill and shouted out Lauryn Hill on the sample. If y'all didn't catch that, make sure you go back through and catch that. Dope. Lyrics, bar none. Give him an A for that. Bar none. And ultimately, my favorite quote, let me read it to make sure I get it right. Pretty much what the quote said is, what's better than one billionaire? Two, especially when they're from the same hue as you. I was like, you know what? You right, Jay. You right. So 444 album, go get it right now on Tidal, streaming exclusively. You heard it here. It's your girl Scribe. I'll see you next time, though.